everybody. I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and we're going to do pineapple chicken today. I'm sorry about the delay. I'm hoping that this goes well since I was having trouble with the tracker before. I looked at a bunch of different recipes and just didn't see anything that I liked, so we're going to kind of wing this. And so what I've done right now is I have the chicken just kind of preheating in the oven since it was in the refrigerator. We're going to cut up this fresh pineapple. And I, of course, because I'm a, as my daughter would say, a crazy plant lady, I will be trying to plant this afterwards. So I'm just going to stick it in the sink for now. And there's probably 100 different ways to cut a pineapple. This is just how I do it. I find if you make more cuts versus less, you lose less of the fruit. And then what I'm going to do, it calls for pineapple juice, and you don't need very much of it. And so I do have the can of the V8 here, but I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to try something different, and I'm going to try taking some of this and putting it in the food processor and seeing what happens. So there's that, and it smells and looks really sweet. And what I found with the newer pineapples is the core is so soft that there's no reason that you have to remove it. We were talking, I think a little bit, maybe not, about newer fruits and how they're much sweeter. And so they spike your blood sugar more than old heirloom varieties. And, they've just been hybridized. Bananas are a really good example. Traditional bananas weren't really sweet. They were more like plantains. And so, let's see what happens here with this. And I also put a cutie in there, and I think I'm going to add just a little bit of lemon juice. Not on me, on the, there. So. You know what, I think I have cilantro here. I'm going to go ahead and add that to that too, so that it's really fine. And I have some ginger here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and add that to that too. So, we'll see. And again, this is kind of loud. It's not really a juice, but I think it's going to work really well, actually. So what we're going to do is this is going to go into a saucepan. And we're going to start making our marinade. And I'm just winging this here, folks, so hopefully... which is typically how I cook. I'm not very good at following directions on recipes. And if you really think about it, recipes are just a guideline. But the reason I think this is going to be better is because there's so many other goodies inside the, in the fiber of the fruit that keep it healthier. So, now the other thing we're going to do is turn on this, and we're going to saute up some onions and some peppers and so the peppers and onions. We're just going to add some color, and again, the more variety of food we eat, the more likely we're going to get all the micronutrients. So, in here I have the carcass from the chicken, and I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. And I have some water from the filtered water. And I put a little salt in there, and this is carrots and celery. And there was a little basil left over, so that's in there too. Or not basil, but thyme. And I put a little salt in that, and I'm just going to let this cook down. And that will cook for 12 to 24 hours, and that's going to end up a bone broth. So that's that. So the bone broth is going. Let's go ahead and slice up some more of this. And what I'm going to do with the pineapple is I like it seared. So we'll sear up a little bit of this and have it on the side. I think I might do a little bit of a spinach salad. But what I'm going to do is make a marinade when this is all done. Oops. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, the marinade, you saw this is cilantro and ginger and pineapple and orange. We're going to add a little squirt of sriracha, I can say it today. A little cumin. Some scallions. We added some lemon juice, but we'll go ahead and just squeeze the rest out of this half. Wasn't a real juicy lemon. Oops, I didn't want that. And I have rice going in the rice cooker. I'm gonna add some garlic. Like I said, I think garlic and ginger and turmeric I'm trying to get added into just about everything I eat now. A little oyster sauce. That adds that umami flavor to it. Some soy sauce. And some crunchy garlic chili sauce. Yeah, that's what I add a spoon of that in there. And a little rice vinegar. And a little sesame oil. And a little bit of smoked paprika. So basically what I'm trying to do here is balance the sweet with the tangy with a little bit of hot. You'll see that a lot in Asian cooking and Mexican cooking. And then we're going to, oh, that's not one. There we go. And then I have some cornstarch here to help thicken it, but I might not need that. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more soy sauce to this. It's going to thin out as I heat it up. So, hopefully everybody is doing well. Like I said in my other short video, I apologize it took so long for the video to download. It literally took 2 days. I did it on Sunday early afternoon, and it didn't finish till last night in the middle of the night. So but I think leaving the fiber from the fruit, there's other nutrients that are in the fiber and the rest of the fruit that I think are very beneficial, and when we juice things, we just don't get those. And God combined them perfectly in our fruit to be metabolized to the maximum, to not raise blood sugars too much. And you know, everybody worries about their cholesterol, and they worry about their blood pressure, and they worry about this, and they worry about that. And yes, those things are important. But the bottom line is if we can keep inflammation down, if we can keep our insulin from spiking, or worse, where we get resistant to it and we don't even react to it, the better we're going to be. And so it really does come down to inflammation. A little bit of inflammation is good. It triggers the body to do healing. But when you're living in a constant state of inflammation, that's where autoimmune diseases come from. That's where you get joint pain and muscle pain and disease. And so what I'm wanting to help you see is that if you can get to what happens before what happens. Okay, so your blood pressure's up. It's almost too late then. You need to, and it's not too late. You can bring blood pressure down and keep it down, but it's much easier to stay healthy and not ever get to a point where you're hypertensive. And hypertension is not a disease. It's a symptom of something else going on in your body. And so you need to get to what's causing that. And I truly believe, let food be thy medicine. You'll notice that I have a lot of allium. I use garlic a lot. I use onions a lot. I use peppers. And you've got to be a little careful with peppers because they have leptins in them. And that can be like little shards of glass inside of you. But when you cook them, that decreases it. The same with tomatoes, right? A lot of lectins in tomatoes too, but when you cook them, you decrease that by like 60%. So there's a reason culturally, if you look at the Mediterranean diet, Mexican diet, Asian diets, why they cook some things. Spinach, the same thing. Spinach is really, really high in oxalates. A lot of foods are, but when you cook them, you decrease that. Beans are high in lectins, but if you cook your beans, you significantly decrease it, and they're also high in protein and a lot of other good things. I just want to taste this. For me, it can take quite a bit more of this. Again, this is kind of do as you like and taste it. I like spicy, and there's going to be so much sweet that I think the combination is going to be good. I don't know that I'm going to need that. And oyster sauce is not fishy, so don't be afraid of it. It's kind of a staple in Asian cooking, and the reason is because it adds that umami, that earthy, that kind of nutty flavor to things. So it's really good. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more cumin to this. Again, because I want, and I think also I have a little bit of curry powder here that has coriander and all sorts of different things in it. And when you caramelize your onions, they just are softer and sweeter. And those peppers were frozen, so I wanted to get them cooked up a little bit. And like I said, bring down the lectins in them. So try, and it's the same thing, you know, a lot of people take a prebiotic pill. I have doubts if that actually works, because what are prebiotics? They're bacteria that are beneficial to our gut. And I have my doubts whether that bacteria is going to make it through the processing of putting them in a capsule. So I would much rather you eat fermented food, and that's why I did that little section on fermented foods. And as you change your diet and get away from processed foods, get away from sugars, especially fructose. And fructose is glucose and sucrose mixed together, so it's a double sugar. And our body isn't meant to take a lot of that in. You know, you can get a little from fruit, but when you get more than that, it overwhelms the body and the body shuts down, and then that sugar gets stored as fat. So you want to try and stay away from things with fructose in them, unless it's a whole fruit. And I am not an advocate for juice, because you're just getting a lot of the fructose and almost none of the pulp and the fiber that helps your body absorb that slowly. Okay. So we're going to take the meat out. And basically it's the last two big pieces off that rotisserie chicken. So what I'm going to do is, get this closer. I don't have very much room to work in this kitchen, so I do my best. And we're just going to pour that in there. So those flavors can get there's some pineapple in that, but I am going to chop up a little bit more and throw it in there, because this is supposed to be pineapple chicken, not just actually throw some fresh pineapple in there. I don't think I need to add the cornstarch. I think the way I did it, it turned out plenty thick. And what I'm going to do is take some of this and just pour this on here. And then I'm going to save some for the end. I'm going to say about 15-20 minutes in the oven. I thought I turned this off, but I didn't. Okay, since I still have some grease in this, and it's kind of, not grease, but it's avocado oil, and it's still warm, I'm going to fry up a couple pieces of that, and then this is done. And that's going to be it. So what I'll do is I'll come back and splice on the end with the final product, or put a picture on for the video itself, what it's going to look like at the end. But that's basically it. I'd say about 15-20 minutes in the oven to get a chance for those flavors to really get into the chicken. And then, like I said, I'm going to grill up these pineapple slices and make a little spinach salad on the side. And I have, if you remember from the last video, I made lemon, honey, mustard dip, and I think that'll be really good on the spinach salad with the sweet and spicy of the sauce. So I hope you enjoy it, and I apologize for the technical errors before, and I hope you have a very blessed day. Thank you. Okay, so we're just about done. I did some bok choy with some spinach, the fried up or seared pineapple, some white rice, and we'll get the chicken out and you can see what it looks like now that it's done. It smells really good. Okay. So we'll take this over here. That on the rice. Okay. That's a heaping lot of food. Then I'm going to pour a little bit of this dressing just to add some flavor to that. Okay. Scallions on top. And that's it. So you can see, pretty easy. And I think it smells amazing. So I'll let you know how it tastes, but I'm pleased. And again, colorful plate, lots of protein, lots of fiber, feeding your gut, feeding your body, and all natural. I mean, there were no preservatives or anything put in any of this. It was just, good oils, and really probably the worst thing on this plate is the rice. And, I'm okay with a few carbs, especially if you're pairing it with lots of fiber and protein. And so let's continue on this health journey together. I love you all. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave comments, and I hope you try this. I think the sauce is not spicy at all. It's just a nice blend of heat and, tangy, and very Polynesian, and I think you're going to really love it. So have a very blessed day. Remember to walk with the Lord, and He will take care of you. Bye-bye.